Hi everyone, it is me, Lyric Soul Tarot here, and first of all, I want to apologize for the lighting. It's crazy lighting in here in the early afternoon, so it's only going to get worse, so let's just do this now while I have some free time. First of all, I wanted to touch base. I have a few videos in mind coming up, so definitely stay tuned, subscribe if you're not already. I have a mini haul video coming up because I went a little crazy last night. I have 4 decks coming, so keep an eye out for that little mini haul, and of course unboxing reviews for each of those decks. So that'll be each one will get their own video. And what else did I have in mind to do? Oh, I do have another unboxing coming next month. Not for a tarot deck, so I'm excited about that. And what else do I have? I'm gonna do some end of the year stuff because for the last 6 months I've been pulling a card a month for the year ahead thing going on. So next month I'm going to do a year review of that and picking my decks for next month, or for next year, and picking my decks for next year that I will be doing my monthly card pull for. So that's that. I think that's all I wanted to say before we got into this video response. So this is about a week old, but I wanted to do it anyways because it looked like a lot of fun, and I've been gone for a while, so video responses are always fun and easy, and I love getting to know everyone else and sharing myself with all of you. So I have it pulled up on my laptop down here, so if you see me looking down here, that's what I'm looking at. I'm doing Katey Flowers hashtag tarot obsessed, and I will link that original video down below. So question number 1, what was your very first tarot deck? So my very first tarot deck was Legend of the Arthurian Tarot, or Legend the Arthurian Tarot, by Anna Marie Ferguson. As you can see, this box is well loved. It is falling apart. You should see the little white book that came in here. It's not white anymore, it's pretty yellow. So this deck was my very first deck. I bought it for myself. I heard the thing that your very first deck should be something given to you, but I was sick of waiting for somebody to give me a deck, so I bought my own. My mother, my grandmother, my friend at the time, and we all went, Bunny, so cute, sorry, we all went to this small touristy town that we have here in Wisconsin, and there happened to be a small new age shop in that little area, which honestly surprised me, and they sold tarot cards and they did readings and everything like that there. There was a girl who did readings there and everything. So we looked around there, and before we left we went back, so I didn't buy it at first. And while I was looking around, this deck caught my eye, and I was like, oh, but I'm not really into Arthur and all and the myth and everything like that. Like, I know of it and everything, but I'm just not really into it. And what ended up happening was the decks were like set, you know, on shelves and everything like that, and I was looking at a ring. They had a ring of decks and stuff like that, so I was looking at the ring, and this deck fell, and I caught it, and I was like, oh my gosh. So I put it back. I was like, okay, that was weird. So I put it back, and I kept looking, and a few minutes later, okay, calm down, Temperance. A few moments later, it fell on me again. So I was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna take this as a sign. It fell on me twice. Clearly I need to buy it. So this was my very first tarot deck. And no regrets. I like the soft. I used it for years. It was the only tarot deck I ever had. So for years I used it every single day. It was the only one I used for a while. And I actually grew to love the Legend of Arthur through this deck. But yeah, this was my very first deck. I love the watercolor nature of the art. It's very soft, so yeah. That was my first deck. So question number 2. What is your current favorite deck? You guys are gonna be surprised. You're gonna be shocked and surprised. You're gonna be so surprised when I pull this deck out and you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know. Nicoletta Sicoli. The Nicoletta Sicoli Tarot is my current favorite deck. Surprise, surprise. I mean, honestly, it's not a surprise. Especially considering my last video that I just did. Love the artwork. It gives me a very strong it gives me a very strong message whenever I read with it. It speaks to my inner child. It also speaks to all parts of me. I love it. I love it so much. So, Nicoletta Sicoli. I'm literally just gonna sit here and flip through the deck. Question number 3, what is your most used tarot deck? Define it. That would be it would be Tarot of the Magical Forest is my most used deck. Where is that hair coming from? Oh my god. Classy. I reach for it all the time. All the time. Love the artwork. It's very innocent artwork, very whimsical artwork, but it gives me very strong readings and very to the point readings, and I love it so much. You all know I love this deck, and I have a very strong connection to it, so this is my most used. Also top 3 favorite decks. I love it so much. Okay. Number 4, what is your least used deck? So I actually have 2 for this one. So yes, I cheat a little bit because I use them both, or I don't use them both equal amounts. Like, I literally haven't used them at all since I did my unboxing review on them. So first we have the Line Strider Tarot, which the artwork is gorgeous for. The artwork and the vibe is not the issue with this deck for me. It is the cardstock. And I'm slowly getting over that. But it's still going to take me a hot minute. So that's the only reason I don't use it, is the cardstock. It's so thin, and I don't like it at all. But that's the only reason I don't use it. Maybe I'll work with it more next year. I feel like the time is coming to use it, but not yet. Not yet. So that's the first one. And then the second one is the Katey Tarot. And this one is the opposite for me. Like, I like the cardstock's fine, the deck's fine, I just don't gel with the artwork. And that's what's stopping me from using it. I really want to like it because I've heard wonderful things about it from other people. And I love, like, it's an inclusive deck. You have like more elderly people, you have bigger people in the deck, men and women represented a good equal amount. It's just something about it is like not there for me, and I don't really know what that is yet, but maybe I have to work with it a little bit more. I don't know. I want to like it though. So, question number 5. How did you learn to read tarot? So, I taught myself. Didn't have anybody to guide me in, learning tarot when I first got my very first deck. So, I relied heavily on the Little White Book and what I could find on the internet. At that time, I wasn't part of Facebook or anything like that, so it's literally just what I Googled, and the resources just weren't readily available for a beginner at that time. This is over 10 years ago. So I learned quite a bit on my own through the Little White Book and whatever resources I could find online. And basically I just taught myself. There's still a lot I need to learn. I don't think I'll ever stop learning about this medium, this art form, if you will. I'm always going to keep learning about it, and that's what I love about tarot too. Like, gonna constantly be learning about it. Question number 6. What do you use tarot for? So I use tarot for guidance. I'll go to tarot with situations and be like, if I keep going on this way, what's the outcome? If I change something, what'll be the outcome? That kind of thing. I would love to work more deeply with tarot. However, there are certain things I'm not ready for yet, and I recognize that in myself. So I'm just waiting for the right time to push myself further in that, if that makes any sense. Question number 7. How do you read tarot? Intuition or book? Both. Mainly, I rely on the book or traditional meanings and stuff like that. I'm trying to work more intuitively. That is something that I have been trying to cultivate in my spirit work for the last 6 months. So that's something I'm working on. So I would love to get to a point where I can do both easily, but right now I just feel more comfortable relying on a book, which isn't, that's not a bad thing. It just means I personally am not happy with my level of, not understanding, but comfortability, trusting myself and trusting the message without reassurance. That's really what it is. 8, do you use spreads? Yeah. I love using spreads. I use spreads all the time. If I don't use a spread, I usually don't use tarot. If I'm not going to use a spread, I will grab an oracle card and do it that way. But typically, like 99% of the time, I'm using a spread. So I have this book, The Ultimate Guide to Tarot Spreads. Sorry, I'm reading it backwards. It's by Liz Dean, and I've recommended this book before. I'm going to recommend it again. It is great. As you can see, I have my little tabs here for my most used tarot spreads and information that I want to have readily available. But it has so many different spreads that you can use. If you are a lover of spreads, if you ever want to find more spreads, have more information, I highly recommend this book. I will also link down below my Pinterest tarot board. I have tons of spreads on there, so if you are a spread lover like me, check that out. I also keep, hang on a second here, didn't even think to grab this first. I also have a tarot journal. This is my tarot journal, and as you can see, I have spreads written down in here as well. So when I do a spread, if it comes from the book or if it comes from Pinterest, I will typically write it down, how the formation goes and the meaning of each card, and then I'll typically do it on a different page. I highly recommend either getting a tarot journal or something like that and keeping all your spreads in one place. So, love spreads. Number 9, do you mix tarot with other divination systems? No. Sometimes. Mostly no. If I feel like I want to work with an oracle more, and I am trying to figure out how to work oracle into my spirit work more. Right now I'm based mostly and very heavily in tarot, but I really do want to branch out to oracle and understand how to work with that in my spirit work. Just can't get there yet. So once in a while, if I'll do like a spread and stuff like that, I will grab an oracle deck and kind of do, if I don't understand a certain card, I will pull an oracle card to get clarity. Other than that, I really don't. I used to a lot in the past. Number 10, what makes a great tarot deck? Imagery, for me. For me personally, imagery, like you can definitely tell that I have some kind of favorite style, right? So with the Nicoletta Sicoli and the Tarot of the Magical Forest, they're very, I don't want to say childlike, but they're very innocent. They're very whimsical. Right, so I appreciate that kind of thing in a deck, something that speaks to my inner child, but also, you know, holds no punches in terms of reading. So the cards that I'm pulling together are kind of cool that they go together, kind of. Oh my god, what's happening right now? I'm just gonna keep doing this. This is interesting. I like this. This is fun. This is a new game. I'm just going to be doing this for the rest of the day. Oh my gosh. Easy images to understand. I like a good guidebook with it. It doesn't even necessarily have to be a guidebook. Just like a little white book would be fine too. Just has to be easy to understand and give me a lot of information. Like, and it doesn't have to be like a huge thick thing to give me a lot of information, you know what I mean? So those two things, and I'm pretty heavy. In cardstock. You can't give me this flimsy cardstock. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. You give me good cardstock. Number 11. How important is it to you that a deck stick to the tarot system? I would say pretty important. I know there's some decks out there that don't. They kind of have their own system. Number 12, do you have any backup decks? I do not, but I really want to get a backup for my Nicoletta Sicoli and for my Tarot of the Magical Forest, because I use them a lot, and if something were to happen, I want an extra copy. So those are two that I really do want an extra copy of. However, whenever I go on like a little mini haul or spree or whatever like that, I'm always buying new stuff, so it might be a while before I get those. But yes, I do want backup decks, just for those two right now, but I don't have any at the moment. Number 13, do you have any unusual or unique decks? So I do have a Il Mangello, Visconti Il Mangello. This is, I'm sure you guys know all about it, handmade. This is number 909 out of 1,000. This deck, fucking gorgeous. I haven't used it. I want to. I'm just in awe of it, and I haven't really stopped being in awe of it since getting it. It's gorgeous. It was expensive, but it was completely worth it. Completely worth it. I'm trying to get to the death card because that's my favorite. But yes. All hand painted. Oh, there it is. I love it. So yeah. It's not really rare or anything like that, but it's definitely unique. And I love it. I am sad though because the little seal broke off. So like you'll see like in other people's, there's like a whole seal there. And I don't know what happened to mine, but it completely broke off. So it's a little sad. And makes me sad. I still love it. Okay, back at it. Question number 14. What is your current deck crush? And at first I was thinking, I was like, okay, do I have one? If it's one that I own, it would be the Akashic Tarot right there, borderless edition. It is just gorgeous. But then I thought, well, that's not really a crush because I own it, so it's mine now. So I would have to say, besides my holy grail of Tarot of Delphi, which I don't know if they're still reprinting it next year or not, but if they are, I'm going to lose my mind. I need it. So besides that, the Venetian Tarot, gorgeous. I have such expensive taste, and honestly, I'm not surprised that that extends also into the tarot world. Like, I have the most expensive taste on the slimmest of budgets. So I hate myself like 99% of the time. But like the Venetian Tarot, oh. So the Sassurabito Tarot, I don't know why randomly I needed it. But yeah, that's a tarot crush of mine. Because I have been crushing on it from afar, but then I, forgot about it, and then I crush on it, and then I forgot about it. And then finally I was just like, you know what? Well, I need it. Number 15, do you read reversals? Not anymore. When I very first got my first deck, in the little white book, I don't know why I always want to just flip through the cards when I show you. In the little white book, they have, and remember, this was my very first deck, and I knew next to nothing about tarot, other than I loved it and I wanted to learn it. So in the little white book, they have, obviously, the title of the card, they have the interpretation, and then they have the reversal interpretation. It says reversals in here. The reversed card interpretations have been included for those who wish to use the reverse method, though I would hasten to add that while some readers work with them, reverses can make for unnecessary confusion and a disjointed reading. Me being me, I was like, screw that. I'm going to read with reversals. Don't tell me what to do. So for years, I read with reversals, and it didn't bother me. It didn't hinder me at all in my readings. I still got the messages I needed to get, and I still understood what I needed to understand. However, further along the line, after like 2 years of reading with reversals, I got nothing but reversals, and more cards were reversed than not reversed in like 90% of my readings. And I was like, I know it's not me because, pardon me, I know it's not me because I'm reading for different situations and for different people. So it all can't be like that. You know what I mean? So I stopped reading with reversals. And ever since then, I have not read with reversals. I don't even like reading with I don't even like reading with reversals anymore. So no, but I used to a lot, for like 2 years straight. So last question, we made it. Question number 16. If you could only use one deck, what would it be? Now, I agonized over this question. I really did, for like 5 minutes. I decided, and this is gonna like come out of left field for most of you, but I decided on the Muha Tarot. And why I decided on this is very easy, very simple to understand. First of all, it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. I had a I'm sorry, I'm having a moment right now. I need a minute. Like, I haven't touched this since I got the haul, and I've been working with mostly this. I haven't touched my Muha Tarot, and I'm just like gonna cry right now because I forgot how strongly I feel about this tarot. I'm seriously gonna cry right now. I like touched it and I'm like, oh my god, I remember now. I don't understand it. I don't know why, but does that mean this is my tarot? Is that what this means? I don't know. Have you guys ever felt like this with the tarot? I don't. I have the Fenestra tarot. It's somewhere back in there. I had to rearrange everything because I took like half my collection. But I have the Fenestra tarot, and that was my very second deck. And this reminds me of a more mature, more defined version of the Fenestra tarot. And I love my Fenestra tarot. I use that like Arthurian tarot because when I got that Fenestra tarot, that was my deck. I used that mother every single day. I put it in my purse. I took it with me. That was my deck. And I feel like this, I'm like holding it so tightly right now. It's like digging into my skin. Oh my gosh, I don't know if you can see that, but it like, I was holding it so tightly. But I don't know why, you guys, but it's this deck. I had an immediate connection as soon as I touched it. As soon as I got it out of its box, I was connected to this deck. And then I opened other ones and I got sidetracked and I forgot how much I adore this deck. The imagery is gorgeous. It's traditional Rider-Waite-Smith. The colors are just fantastic. And it's just so, it feels like, I'm gonna cry. I'm sorry. I don't know why. I don't know why, you guys. This is like very confusing for me right now. I don't know why. But it feels like home. Like, have you ever had a deck, like, look at me, I'm tearing up. Have you ever had a deck that just feels like home? Because that's what this is for me, and I don't know why. But I have such a deep connection to this tarot, and I don't even understand it fully. And I'm so sorry that I didn't touch you for like, I don't know, 6 months? No, it hasn't been that long. Like 4 months. Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean it. I love you. Don't be mad at me. But honestly, it is So I feel like I can read very good readings for myself with this deck. I feel like since I have this deep unexplainable connection to this deck, I can read very well with it for myself. But it also has the traditional elements that, you know, Rider-Waite-Smith, and so I feel like I could very easily read for other people with this, and I have read for other people with this deck. So I feel like I can do both with this deck. That's why I would say if I could only use one deck, oh, there she is, that's my girl. That's why I feel like, sorry, I'm like so distracted, but I'm a Capricorn. My sun sign is Capricorn, so devil card, and I love this devil card. Like, she is just getting it. Sorry. But I feel like I can definitely read for other people and myself with this deck. So if I could only use one deck, this would be it. And the fact that it almost made me cry, and I don't know why. Have you guys ever had that with a deck? If so, tell me why. Why is it happening? What does it mean? What does it mean? I don't know. Okay, I'm done. So yeah, that's my answer to that. We made it. We made it through. If you stuck with me through all of that, thank you so much. But it was really fun. Like I said, I will link Katey Flowers' original video down below if you want to check it out. See all the questions for yourself. Thank you for hanging out with me today, you guys, and I love you. And I hope you guys have a blessed day. I'm so well prepared. I also do have, oh, I just hurt myself. Oh my gosh. Oh, I think there's something wrong with my foot. Every time I put pressure on it in a certain spot, it like really hurts. I think like maybe something's like hairline fracture or something. Is that a thing? Is that a thing that could be possible? I don't know, but I can't put pressure on it in a certain spot. So I think something is seriously wrong with my foot. I should maybe get that checked out. Send Reiki. I love you guys much. I love you guys much. I love you guys much. Hey, I love you guys much.